What's going on, gamers? Here we are back with some more Dark Souls 3, and today I'm going to be going over a boss guide for the High Lord Wolnir. So if you're having trouble on this absolutely humongous boss, then stay tuned, that's coming up next. Welcome back all you guys and girls, as always, for all things gaming, for all things Xbox, then why not hit that subscribe and bell icon. But for today I'm here to give you a few tips on beating this boss right here, and that's High Lord Wolnir. Now in general I'd say he's probably one of the easier bosses with a lot of the classes, but with my one I've found it to be a bit of a pain, and the main thing is with this guy right here you've got to choose your moments when you're locking on and such. So for this boss, after a short cutscene you're going to be greeted with this absolute monstrosity that is High Lord Wolnir. And definitely a sight to behold. He is not a skeleton that you want in your closet because he's absolutely huge. The main thing you've got to realise with this boss, he's not actually that tough once you know his mechanics, as long as you're doing them properly and as long as you have a bit of luck on your side. What you're going to want to do is focus mainly on the bracelets on his hands. He'll have 2 on his left hand and he'll have 1 on his right hand. When you manage to smash those, he's gonna take a big chunk of his health, and that's how you're gonna defeat him once you've destroyed all 3 of them. However, not quite as easy as that. He's gonna have a few mechanics about him that's gonna make your life a little bit harder. With this boss, I found that some classes will probably have an easier time than others. If you're a very melee based class and if you've got a lot of damage on your weapon, I'd imagine this one's probably quite easy once you know what you're doing. However, if you're locking on all the time as a pyromancer like I was, when he lifts his arms and such, sometimes it can be a bit of a nightmare because you turn away or the lock on just changes. It's definitely one you've got to make sure you're locking on at the right times. But like I said, the main thing you're going to do, make sure you're focusing on those bangles on his arms. He definitely has some moves going on around him as well. One of them is underneath him. You don't want to get too close because he does have some kind of a toxic effect going off underneath him. So if you're right underneath his body, you can find your health going down very rapid. Also, from time to time, he'll do a massive toxic clad that just absolutely wipes your health. So if you see him powering up and you see this cloud of darkness coming your way, make sure you get out of the vicinity, because that will definitely put a downer on your day very fast and cause you to fall over quickly. A few of the other things you've got to watch out for are the mini skeletons that he starts to rise up during the battle. From time to time you may have to knock a few of these down, but if you're lucky he will knock a lot of them down with his hand attacks himself. And that's pretty much the other thing you have to watch out for. When his hands are rised up and when they're slamming down, they can definitely do significant damage to your health bar, so make sure you're dodge rolling out of the way of them, because if you're not paying attention you can get hit by that and then get caught out by a few skeletons afterwards. Also, if you make your way all the way to the back of the map, I found that this definitely didn't work in your favour, and it's more of a mid-range battle. You're going to want to be staying close to him but not too close, and then moving in and knocking out those bangles whenever you can. I found probably going for the ones on the right first and then the one on the left definitely worked in my favour, but it's all down to your positioning and what you find when the opportunity arises. Also, one of his other big moves is to draw a sword out from the ground. Once he does this, he has a slightly longer range, so you have to be mindful because his right hand definitely has the advantage and you can't get quite as far away. So if you need to dodge roll to the right or dodge roll away, make sure you're definitely focusing on that sword in order to not get hit by it. But as long as you're focusing on those bracelets more than anything on this boss, after a short while they should break, and like I said, once you've destroyed all 3 of them, that will be the end of the boss fight. If you've got anything that's got any blessed infusion, or if you can manage to do a lot of strike damage, that definitely seems to work best on this boss. But as long as you don't get caught out by his flailing limbs or any of those skeletons getting rammed behind you, there's a good chance you'll be able to take this boss out by just making sure your positioning's good and making sure that you hit those bracelets at the right points. If you're not quite far enough up his arm, you'll only be hitting his hand, so make sure you're hitting the right areas. But once all 3 are done, that will be his nightmare over and he'll be dragged back down into what looks like the abyss. Also, if you're like me and you forgot to pick up the item on the floor during this, don't worry, it should be in the corner of the room on the left hand side next to the stairs. If it's not, then try loading in and coming back and it should be there then. As always guys and girls, hopefully that's helped a few of you out. For all things gaming, for all things Xbox, take care, I'll see you all next day.